Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. A couple of you guys have told me that you have purchased loop stations just recently. I wanted to share with you a real quick song so that you can understand a little bit more about how to build a song via a loop station. But I'll go through the parts of what I'm actually playing. So when you go to practice and you go to build your parts, it'll be a lot easier for you when you're using your loop station. And stick around to the end because I have a surprise for you. Okay? See you in a second. Alrighty guys, so I'm sure you've noticed that when I was playing that song, We Are Family, I kind of took some liberties with it. That's because using a loop station allows you to just kind of get a little bit more creative. What I wanted to do was just demonstrate to you on the guitar actually what I was playing, because I know a lot of you guys play acoustic guitar. You could transfer everything that I was doing on electric guitar to acoustic guitar, just maybe not necessarily the solo. But that's not really the point. The point is for you to be able to build upon the song. So what I did was I created a structure. The first pass that I used was A, G, D, and D minor. Now I played the bar chords. So what I did was I counted it out in my head, 1, 2, and then I hit the loop station, boom, and it starts to record. Once I finish the progression, and I get to the very end, I hit the loop station right on the downbeat, and then boom, it automatically starts playing. So I'm building upon this method of this kind of song. And as I'm doing that, I don't really have to play a lot. I don't have to play a lot of parts because I'm building the parts as I'm starting. So there's several progressions. This one in particular is just a bar chord. Now I know that some of you guys don't like bar chords, but in order to be able to kind of build, you have to catch all the low frequencies. So what I did was I played the bar, which is an A major bar, and then I took my pinky and then I lowered it to the 4, which this chord actually is called an A sus4. So it's like bringing the pinky down and then bringing it back up again. And then you slide to the G. So the exact same thing, you just move it down 2 half steps. So G, and then G sus4. And then pick the pinky up. So A. It's a great way to practice those bar chords. And I slid all the way to the D major. So I played that D. So A. And then I played a D minor, all on upbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once when I finished that, I hit the loop station and then it started over again. So this is what I played. So that's the first pass. Then I wanted to lay down a bass, like a bass movement. So basically what I did was I just put the palm of my hand, the butt of my hand on palm muted set, put it right on the saddle. This thing right here is the saddle. Just kind of deaden the string. And then I went and played just down strums. G, A, so it started with the A, to the G, D, and then hold that for 2 measures. And then right when I hit the last note, boom, I hit it again. So now it's triggered. So now I'm building, right? Then after that, I decided to kind of break the chords in half a little bit. But I kind of wanted to start with the acoustic guitar. So once I built on the acoustic guitar, I used capo 2. So I played G, which would be the A major. Then I played the F, and then I played the C. Now, there's nothing fancy about what I played on the acoustic guitar. I played literally this, and it kind of gets buried in the mix, and there's a purpose behind that. It's because the acoustic guitar is not supposed to stick out. It's supposed to kind of sit in the background. So I'm literally on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty boring if you're playing that live, but in a recording environment, like in your loop station, doesn't matter how boring it is, as long as you're kind of building. So once that's done, that cycle happened, I hit the loop station again, and then we come to these triads. These are kind of fun. So it's basically the A major triad. So not the whole bar chord. I'm just playing this triad. So there's the root note, the A right there on that 7th fret, right on the D string. So that's the A. And then you still use that same hammer on. So that same initial thing that I did right there, you're just playing it. So like this, you're playing right here. So G. See how that's a movable chord, movable triad. So the root note, then to the G. So right there. So cool. Now what do I do? I gotta go to a D major. How do I do that? Well, you slide back up to where the A is and just lay your ring finger across and that make that D major. And then if I need to make a D minor, what I can do is I can pick up that ring finger and bring back my pinky, and then so D major, D minor. So it sounds like this. And that's basically the breakdown of what I did for We Are Family. Now, when I get to the solo is just like the melody. It's like that. I hear it in my head. But then I went kind of nuts with it after that memorable part. I just kind of took off. And what I did was I took off in a pentatonic minor. I really didn't mess around too much with any other types of scales. Pentatonic minor and F sharp. So the relative minor to A is F sharp. The way you find a relative minor for any key is you find the root, which in this case is the A. You just move 3 half steps down. So A, A flat, G, G flat, or F sharp. And that is how you find the relative minor to the key of A, right? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the board, and I'll show you what I was doing with the board. All right, guys, so this is my pedal board that I use when I'm recording, or if I'm recording in the studio for our church events, or whatever I'm doing live in a live environment. This board is a Temple Audio. It's a Temple Audio board. I'm running a Pod Line 6 Go. Now, for some of you guys, if you're looking at this pedal board, it's kind of intimidating in a way, because look at all the stuff that I've got. Don't get overly concerned with all the things like the cloudburst there and all the buttons and all the stuff. What you really want to be concerned with right here is this loop station. That loop station is an RC-1. A buddy of mine just bought one used for 50 bucks. I'd buy mine full price, 100 bucks. But you might be wondering why I have a sustain pedal right there. Well, if you're playing standing up and looking down, I am not very good at just hitting this button. Number one, I can't hit it twice for some reason. So let me get this wire out of the way. So this RC-1 here is the way that I recorded this track. Everything that comes out of the pod goes directly into that loop station. That's the last thing in the chain. And then this top a quarter inch is my input. These two right here, one of them is just a direct out and the other one is an amp out. I use that when I'm recording. I have two channels. I like to put both the channels together, kind of makes it almost like a stereo signal. For this loop station though, when I'm using it, this is my stop. So if you're standing looking down at this pedal board, it is a lot easier to land on this to clear it as opposed to hitting this. So if you notice when we play the progression, dun, 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 dun. So I just started singing it, but here, check it out. So right when I start, it's like dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So see how it's going green? And that means it's coming back around. It's just going to keep playing. It's going to keep playing. So I know that when I finish that progression, I know that this thing is just going to keep going. It'll go forever as long as you have it on, unless you want to turn it off. But right when I want to record again, boom, I hit that and it turns yellow and red, and that means it's recording. I finished that progression, boom, and then now it's all playing together in sync, just like you had heard. If I want to emergency stop, I want to turn this whole thing off, and I don't want to mess around with hitting that pedal again, I just hold this right there. So it's plugged into this stop undo section, so I just land on it. I've had too many times where I missed it and I'm playing live and it just sounds awful. It just you can't recover from it. So I just nail that thing, boom. If you're wondering what that is, this is a page turner for an iPad. So this goes page right, page left. Everything is stuck together in Velcro and it works really well. So that's kind of the setup that I'm using. And I'm just using stock setups or stock presets, except for the acoustic guitar. I'm using Worship Tutorials. They have a wonderful acoustic guitar that really kind of creates some nice sounds. So if you go back to the Worship Tutorial, there it is, and that has plate, it has glitz, it has reverb built into it, a digital delay, and it has a compressor built into it. It's all you really need for your acoustic guitar. So hey, thanks so much for watching. This is at the end of the video. I told you there was going to be a surprise, and I literally just got this in the mail. It's called the Orba 2 by Artiphon. I have some friends I just reached out to, and I said, hey, could you just send me this thing and let me take a look at it. I'm really interested in using it because it's a handheld synthesizer that fits in the palm of your hand. You can tap it, press it, it's got vibrato, it's got loops, you can play immediately with the onboard synth and real instruments and samples. Hear music built in the speaker headphone jack. It's got a MIDI control over Bluetooth or USB. This thing is so tiny, and I would use it for practicing. So this is a way for me to have like a band in my hand, literally. So I'm super excited to be able to figure out how to play it. I wanted to share it with you. It's really compact. It's very nice. It's very substantial. It's not like really plasticky. So it looks pretty good so far. If you're interested in this, check out the video that I have in the description and the link. And we'll see you guys in the next one.